An opening acknowledgement of the land given by Mahtowin.
Yeah, there's stuff down here. Be careful. Sorry, I need to speak under.
My name is Mahtowin, and I'm co-leader of United American Indians of New England, and I'm also representing our newly formed collective bargaining unit of United Auto Workers, Local 2320, National Organization of Legal Services Workers. We begin today by acknowledging that we are on the stolen and unceded land of the Massachusetts indigenous people. Land traversed also by the Nipmuc, Wampanoag, and other Native nations. Land that continues to be inhabited by them and by indigenous peoples from throughout the Americas. I make this acknowledgement out of gratitude and respect, and to let everyone here know that no one is illegal on stolen land. I also want you to understand that we are in fact not all a nation of immigrants. I speak today in memory of all those who have died crossing into the U.S. and elsewhere, in particular in memory of Roxana Hernandez, Marco Antonio Munoz, and Jose Azurdia, all dead from being in ICE custody, and Claudia Patricia Gomez Gonzalez, a 20-year-old Maya who was murdered by the U.S. Border Patrol. As an Indigenous mother, I condemn the state-sanctioned violence that has been perpetrated against migrant children and families under the Trump administration and under the Obama administration before that. My heart breaks for the Aztec, Zapotec, Maya, and other children who have been caged for traveling through indigenous territories. The borders that have been imposed by the U.S. are not our traditional indigenous boundaries, and all our people should have the right to travel freely. The U.S. has a lengthy history of terrorizing indigenous and black families, ripping children out of the arms of their mothers during the times of slavery, kidnapping children to send them to Indian residential schools, and massacring children, stealing our children from our communities via police killings and lynchings and disproportionate rates of foster care and imprisonment. Cruelly separating brown and black families is as American as George Washington. As workers, as students, as oppressed people, we are in an emergency. To change things, we need to use every tactic we can, including going after the corporations that are profiting from these detention centers. Don't listen to politicians who tell you we need to be polite. We are going to need to speak out loudly and impolitely. We will change the situation on the streets and at the borders. People in some cities have been courageously attempting to block ICE facilities. And here in Boston, at 4 o'clock this afternoon, you can join Cosecha, Fire, and other organizations at Wellington Park across from the Mass Ave Orange Line T station as we march over to the South Bay Jail and Detention Center to demand an end to all cooperation with ICE. Finally, we must demand much more than freeing the children who are being held hostage and reuniting their families. We must demand immediate residency. We also need to defend our Muslim relatives. And ensure that Haitian, African, Asian, and Middle Eastern newcomers are not scooped up by ICE either. We need to have solidarity with all those dispossessed by colonialism and U.S. foreign policies, from Puerto Rico to Palestine. By building solidarity between all of our different struggles in Boston and elsewhere, we can build an unstoppable movement and crush ICE.